Hey, everybody. I know this is not planned this evening whatsoever, but I have a very special guest coming on this Friday. That's why you saw the introduction for it. It is this Friday, April the 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Manifest Network. If you are not following the Manifest Network, you need to. A lot more shows will be coming out here soon over there. Really super excited network. Started up with Shane Pittman from the Holder Files, James McDaniel from HGTV and Haunted Live, and Chad and Doug Erie Voice. So please hop on over there to facebook.com/the Manifest Network and and follow that page. Also, another way that you can be alerted for this show, I'm going to go into this a little bit and tell you a little bit about my guest that's coming on Friday. I'm super nervous about it because we are going to be talking about a subject that is very sensitive, and it takes a whole lot. I don't know if anybody knows about being a part of a cult or abuse or anything of that nature. It takes a whole lot to come forth and tell your story. So another way that you can be alerted for the show on Friday night, I really hope that there's a good turnout because I've listened to her talk, and a lot of her interviews are absolutely amazing. I'm going to play a clip of one interview here in a few moments. Is go over to Emily Min's house on Facebook. Oops, let me close that out. My chats are up here. But anyway, go over there, click going or interested right up here, and you'll get a alert Friday also when we're going to go live. But obviously it's the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Manifest Network. So a little bit about Jessie. I'll just read this paragraph because this is on our website, and I'll pull that up. And then we'll go into a video real quick. I'll play a few minutes of it. She was born into the Illuminati. She was being trained to be the Queen of Darkness, or her grandmother was a Queen of Darkness. So this is going to deal with the Luciferian cult, the pedo empire, the Hollywood pedo empire. And obviously we're going to be talking about these Satan shoes that came out that is absolutely, in my opinion, horrendous and a slap in the face that deals with anything that deals with really satanic darkness that I don't agree with. And I'm sorry if you agree with it. I love you. I can love you from a distance. You don't have to love me, but I've done so much research on this stuff now. I don't want to have anything to do with that. So really quickly, with Jessie, I'll just read this paragraph here, and then I'll show you her website to go look at it. She's written a book too, and we're going to talk about that Friday. But at the age of 3, Jessie gave her heart to Jesus. A bit over a year later, she was forced into the Illuminati training to become a successor of the Queen Mother of Darkness. However, Jessie refused to take her position in the system. In 2019, finally, she started to share her testimony and expertise. Her main goal is to tell the captives of the system and those who fell victim to it that there is a way out, and there is a way out. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the hierarchy of this Luciferian cult, the areas of the high priestesses. Gloria Vanderbilt's going to be mentioned. Hopefully, do have to talk with Jessie this week and actually see what subjects aren't really that we can't talk about or can't talk about. So really excited to have Jessie on. I'm sure she's probably going to be coming back on during the summer months too. This story is amazing. So let me stop that screen share. If you want to know more about her, though, you can go to her website here, illuminatethedarkness.com/Jessie Czebotar, and I'll share her screen up because she does have some interviews on there that you can just start out on. But I highly encourage, if you do not have a Rumble account or a BitChute account, please sign up. I'm going to start doing a lot more videos and things over there here shortly. I have a Rumble already. All my political, all this kind of talk will be on my Rumble if you all want to know more about it in details later on. So if you don't, please sign up. But this is the website here. There's several people in the Illuminate the Darkness. And, there's trigger warnings, obviously, in some of these interviews. and things, but she has a lot. She's great. We talk about Disney, like so much stuff, you all. And I've done so much research on this, and the stories line up. It's the scary truth. Sometimes the truth is very hard to listen or understand. So Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then this is the video I'm going to play here now, the Satanic Empire. I'm going to play a few minutes of it, and then I'll close out. I'm not going to be on here very long, but I just know that I've said earlier, before I had her come on, I was going to introduce her a little bit more so people would understand. But I highly encourage everyone, if you want to show up for the show this week, have questions, please, please, please participate, share this out. This is a message that needs to be heard, and not very many people talk about it. So it's a very guarded topic, and I'm just thankful enough that Jessie said yes, that she'll come on the show, and we really hope we can host her, and she has a great time. I know all the viewers here that watch What the Frick Live are absolutely amazing. I love you all very much, and thank you for your support. So stop sharing this, and then we'll play this for a few moments and listen to a little bit about it. This lady, to me, is like, she's really good. So I'm really excited to have her on the show. How many times have I said that? Should there be a drinking game? I'm so excited. Every single time Emily says, I'm so excited, take a shot. But you got to be at least 21 years old, drink responsibly, and preferably drink at home. Yeah, because some of this stuff is so mind-blowing, you may want to drink. But this is off BitChute. I'm not logged into my account here, but Sean Stone with Jessie Czebotar, and they're talking a little bit about the Lucifer and his cult, election fraud a little bit, Wall Street crime, and the satanic pedo empire, which gosh, I've gone down so many rabbit holes, you all. And unfortunately, I have not been able to do any videos on my website here lately. I've had some deadlines with my personal daytime job. So I'm hoping after this week, I'll be able to get some videos and things together and post up on my website. Also, I will be going through, I've had over 100 or 280 applicants for a roundtable discussion show that will be talking about these topics. And I'm going to start going through this. I was wanting to do it last week, but unfortunately my day job took over. So I have some deadlines. And so I'm hoping after this week at this and going into next week, I'll be able to go through some of these applicants and talk to a few of them to start a roundtable discussion on such topics that's going on in modern political world, economics, you name it. We're going to talk about it. So anyway, all right, I'm rambling a little bit. I'm going to play this for a few moments, and then I'll be back up. Thank you. Please share this video out too if you're watching. And hopefully LinkedIn, I'll be able to go live on LinkedIn by Friday. They said 72 more hours. So I'm hoping and praying that will happen. So here we go. Jessie Czebotar with Sean Stone on the Satanic Empire and a little bit of her testimony. If it'll play. Might take a second to load. Okay, play. Woo woo! Hold on, you know, you're getting ready to play something good if it stalls. I'm gonna have to refresh it because I've had it up for a little bit and I listened to it already. There we go.
All right, we are rolling. So I have Jessie.
All right, here we go.
Chaplain Jessie Czebotar. I keep wanting to make it more eccentric.
Then you gotta go Czebotar. Make it exciting.
There you go, Czebotar. You're author of a book, His Kingdom Comes in Power. as well as having done a lot of interviews, podcasts. You do write on radio. Your website, Illuminate the Darkness, is a great source of information. You've been on Sarah Westall's show quite a bit. So, you know, it's interesting because I was recommended to you and started listening to your story, and it's like it's you can, I feel like you can connect a lot of dots for us and help us understand this satanic empire. Let's start by just giving us, you know, I'm sure you've gone into this a lot before, but just give us a little bit of an introduction into your personal experience, as much as you can relate.
Yeah. Are you wanting just like the childhood history, or
Yes,
just like a general overflow?
Were you born into this world, and how essentially your younger years, yeah, what that was like?
Yeah. So I was born into what we would call the bloodline families, and they go by many names, commonly the elite, the cabal, the Illuminati, the Brotherhood. So I was born into the higher escalons of that group, and was chosen at age 4.5 for a very specific position in that world. My proctor, who is a family member, is one of the Queen Mothers of Darkness. And so one of the things that I really bring out as I'm speaking about this group is the structure. How do they operate? How do they work? Where are they working? How does it connect between the physical, the spiritual? And so, you know, that was kind of my beginnings, were, you know, those relationships with my proctor that beyond my control, I was chosen by, you know, these individuals who are part of what I call this system that serves Lucifer. And Lucifer chose me very specifically for end time things and to help set things in place. And so, you know, that training began at age 4.5. Unbeknownst to him originally, the Lord was working behind the scenes. So I mix in a lot of my faith with my story. I was saved at age 3, so a year and a half before I was thrown into this occultic world and trained in the system. I had come to the Lord, and so I knew the difference between good and evil, light and dark. And really, it became, my training was a battleground, we could say. You know, I went through training with some of my other teachers that are, you know, I brought forward some of their names. We had, you know, John Brennan, Michael Aquino, Michael Karkok, who was a Nazi. He was the Ukrainian Legion of Defense leader for Hitler. And then I had, on the witchcraft side, individuals like Gloria Vanderbilt and Laurie Cabot Kent. So those were my main teachers in the black arts, we'll call it. So all of them, you know, were, I don't know what to call it besides an agenda. They all knew this Luciferian end time agenda.
Yeah.
And, you know, had been given prophecies and different things that, you know, told them the series of events. And their job was to prepare and get everything ready in the economy, you know, financially, you know, in the system, and, you know, move everything in that direction for this big end time system.
So are you familiar with John Todd's testimony?
Yes.
Does that resonate as far as, was it similar what he claimed he was born into as far as the covens?
It's similar in some ways. In some ways it's different. You know, my family was at the very top of the system. So you had the 5 mothers of darkness, and then you have the Satanic Council, which is all the heads of the 13 bloodline families. And then you have a 14th bloodline, which is the hidden bloodline, the Muslim Brotherhood. So, you know, what he's describing is kind of what happens in the groups underneath those, we'll call it departments in the system. So it's a little different.
He was really talking. I remember, you know, hearing it years ago and just being fascinated because he talks about how they were controlling music, and in particular, what he was associated with was the control of music. And that, as we know, how music is magic, and the frequency and vibration of what was put out, and how so much of it is designed to basically put people into negative frequencies or to hypnotic states. And a lot of it is encoded. I've heard about like bring in black magicians to like cast spells on the master itself, right? And then cast it to the masses. So in terms of, well, another person I want to bring up then is, you mentioned the 13 families. Does the Fritz Springmeier work on the 13 bloodlines, does that correspond to the families, or is it actually different than what the families that he talks about?
No, what he says is very, very similar. There's a few differences. I have talked with Fritz and we've talked through those differences. So there were some of the major families or names that would fall under those categories. He had kind of seen as, you know, non-important or in the background. What he kind of displays are the face front of the system. So they're true people, you know, the powerhouse, you know, like there's some that they bring forward that are kind of the face front of the system. You know, like Gloria Vanderbilt was somebody that was out in public. She was well known. She lived a very wealthy life. But the real hierarchy people are behind the scenes. They live among us. There would be nothing distinguishing in their lives that would, you know, let you know that they're into this Luciferianism. A lot of them have, you know, very strong cover lives that revolve around Christianity or the Catholic life. And, you know, you would just see them as a regular person. You know, they're taught to live without the excess, yet, you know, whatever they need is available to them. So, you know, these higher families, they don't live wealthy. They're not publicly out there. People aren't going to recognize their faces. And that's part of, to protect the system, to protect who's really doing the programming and the running and the coordinating and organizing of everything.
And so what is this Luciferian system about? What is their belief system?
Well, you know, at the core of it, it's all about Satan or Lucifer's agenda. You know, they really don't love God, and they want to see this agenda fulfilled. They're promised all sorts of things, you know, fame, money, fortune, but above that, they're promised knowledge that's not of this world. And they're promised eternal life. That's the biggest thing, that with that eternal life, it's not just that you'll live forever, it's that you are a God and you will, you know, rule as a God. So that's what they strive for. And, you know, in the backdrop, Satan's agenda has always been that he will usurp the throne of God, that he will sit upon the throne as God. And when that happens, he will, you know, make all of those who follow him gods. That's his promise. I can tell you it's quite different, you know, that he's a liar, that he's, you know, told me to my face that he intends to kill everybody. You know, his goal is just to get his demonic army through those spiritual gates. And once he does, you know, he plans to try to take over the throne of God, and he'll do away with all of the human hosts that have helped to get his legions of demons through the gate.
So the idea of the human hosts are essentially people allowing themselves to be possessed by demonic forces, and in the process of basically by serving that Luciferian or satanic energy and force. Essentially, they're allowing themselves to host it. Right? Is that the idea?
That's the idea. Both, you know, if we talk about what the demons or the fallen angels really are, you know, they were angels that, you know, chose not to serve God and were cast from heaven. And they have spiritual gifts just like we do. So one of the things that the system does is, you know, they want to line up humans that have the same spiritual gifts as those fallen angels. Because when you work together in conjunction with one another, those spiritual gifts are amplified. So that's why you see all the gift testing, all the different testings that go on in schools. The different games are formulated, you know, whether it's online games or it used to be board games. You know, they do all these series of testing to see who can connect where spiritually. And, you know, the goal is always to amplify those spiritual gifts. So in a sense, you're a host, but it's much deeper than that, because it's not just like you're an empty shell or a shell with a spirit that this other being is just kind of coming in and shoving that spirit to the side. There's, at a quantum level, there's an entanglement. You come into agreement with this spirit, and the spirit, you know, operates at a spiritual level with both your physical body and your spiritual body.
Okay, everybody, that is, I'm going to go live on my personal page here in a little bit and actually do the same thing. But that's a little bit about Jessie. That's this weekend. And just a little bit about me. I have a bachelor's and a master's in Christian education and a minor in theology. And the things she says does correlate with the Bible. I know we all believe differently in the paranormal realm. I know that we all have our other ways. And I believe in natural remedies. And you know, the Bible even talks about the metaphysical things too that I agree with. But we are fighting a battle that is good versus evil, and that's the truth. And I don't know if a lot of the people that I'm aware of in the paranormal field actually understand the mark that they are associating themselves to when it comes to this satanic symbolism and things and what they do to our children. And it's true. It's you know, I did not hop on the conspiracy train until this past summer. I don't know if it's the COVID-19 and you're home and you're reading and you want to know all this stuff and things, but this is a lot darker than what I ever thought could be imaginable. Satan, according to the Bible, has dominion over this planet, over this world. So this is just really some great information. And what I want to say is that please just join in Friday night and just be open to it and listen. And if you have good questions, ask the questions. I will do my best to bring it up. Open and then go research it yourself. You have to research it yourself. You cannot depend on any news media source or any of these mainstream sources. You got to do it yourself. And that's what I just want to highly encourage. Just be open to it, listen, ask questions, and go research. This is far darker and deeper than you can possibly ever imagine. And we are seeing a lot of things come out that is you know, is darkness. And who wants darkness, right? Who wants that? So I'm going to end this out. If you want to, I'll bring this back up really quick, though, before I end it out. Let me go over here. I will be posting and sharing it when I prepare the show on Wednesdays. I prepare my show on Wednesdays. But I have the links. Follow the Manifest Network. This will be Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I have the event set up. I actually have the event set up over there on the Manifest Network. So if you want to go over there, follow that page, click on events, and then go down and click going or interested. with that, you will get alerted. And let's see here. Sharing this. Yeah, here we go. Here's Jessie. So just come Friday night at 9 p.m. This interview is very important to me. I'm nervous about it. It's a sensitive subject. I don't think a whole lot of other shows talk about this. And I have a feeling she'll probably be back on a show this summer. So also she has a book that's out, His Kingdom. I think it's His Kingdom Comes in Power, the Battle, where we're in a spiritual battle. So we'll be promoting that. If you're all interested, please buy her book, and then also look her up this week. Research this stuff out yourself. That's the best thing to do and to learn about this. So hopefully, I will see you all Friday night. I will probably do another one of these little clips this week too to get you all prepared for Friday. And I love you all so much. Thank you for supporting What the Frick Live. Thank you for supporting the Manifest Network. A lot of good things are going to be happening here soon with that network over there, some shows and everything. So thank you all very much and have a great night.